Morning, everybody. It's Megan here on the Lawson Farm. So this morning I'm making some biscuits and sausage gravy for my husband's birthday, and I wanted to show y'all how I make my sausage gravy. So a couple of things about sausage gravy is, I think some people, why they find it so hard is it's hard to have exact measurements when you're making gravy. You just got to know what you're looking for. So I'm going to try to show y'all that today. What you're going to need is half a pound to a pound of sausage. I'm actually going to be using my canned sausage, but if you don't have canned sausage, that's fine. Just fry up some sausage in your frying pan and save the grease. You know, don't drain the grease off of it because we're going to need that. You're also going to need some milk and some flour and salt and pepper, of course. And here we go. Alright guys, so my sausage is getting good and hot. Like I said, we're going to want all that grease. You can see it here. My sausage is going to look a little different if you're than it would if you were frying it up. And it's not canned sausage. The texture is a little different from the canned sausage. So while our grease is good and hot, it's time to add the flour in. Now I'm going to tell y'all roughly a half a cup, but we're going to see here, okay? I'm actually going to cut this heat down just a tad. So I got my heat on about a little less than medium, okay? So now we're making what's called a roux. We're just going to add in some flour. Alright, we're not going to need quite a half a cup, maybe a fourth of a cup, because I've got about that much left in there. Now you're going to want to stir that flour in, and it's going to start to thicken. Okay. This is what we want to see. I'm going to show y'all what this looks like. Okay. So that flour has soaked up all that grease. And we still got our heat on right now. We're making sure all that grease is soaked up. Now if it's not, add you a little bit more flour in there, okay? So the next step is the milk. So I'm actually going to cut my heat off for right now while we add the milk in there. Now this is a really hard one. I don't measure my milk. So what we're going to do is take it and we're just going to pour in a little bit at a time, okay? Then we're going to stir that in. And you're going to notice that it's going to get thick again because that flour's in there, so that's what's causing it to do this here. See how thick that's getting? So we definitely need more milk, but we're going to add it in slowly. I'd say I'm adding probably a half a cup at a time, maybe a little more. And it's starting to resemble gravy. But you gotta remember, so at the end we're gonna cut our heat back on and it's gonna thicken up when we go to cooking it again. And you want to boil it at least a couple minutes because you gotta boil the flour taste out of it. We don't want gravy that tastes like flour. So we're gonna add a little bit more milk. And that's what I'm saying. That's why gravy, I guess, to a lot of people is hard to make. I mean, it took me a while to figure it out too, because it's more visual than actual, okay, you need exactly this much and this much. You just got to know what you're looking for and kind of gauge it by what it looks like. Alright, Alright, so y'all see there it's thinning out. Okay. And if you happen to make your gravy too thin, if you boil it for a little bit, it's going to thicken up when that heat hits it. Or if you make it too thick, if you notice when you cut your heat back on that it just gets super thick and it's thicker than you want, just add a little bit more milk. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut my heat back on medium. The whole time while it is sitting on the heat, you want to stir this because it does have milk and flour in it. So I just kind of stand here and stir till it goes to boiling a little bit. Now it's going to be a real soft boil. You don't want it to be like boiling out of the pot or anything. But where this has milk and flour in it, it will definitely stick if you just leave it and let it keep bubbling. And now this is just the way that I make gravy. A lot of people make it different ways. You know, I don't brown my flour or anything like that. So my gravy's kind of a white color. Boil a little bit and it's actually already thickening up. I'm going to show y'all here. You can see it bubbling there, and look how thick this already is. So I'm actually going to add just a little bit more milk, just because I don't want my gravy to be too thick, because we're going to let it boil for just a couple of minutes and it's going to get quite a bit thicker. So I'm just going to take my milk, add just a hair more in there like that. I'm going to stir that in. And now's a good time. We're going to go ahead and add our salt and pepper at this point because we're almost finished cooking. So something I learned in my experiments of gravy making back when I was learning how to make it is my gravy always tastes like it was missing something. I could never put my finger on what it was missing, and it was salt. I wasn't putting enough salt. I know salt is not good for you, but if you can't have salt, you probably shouldn't be eating gravy either. Just saying. That's the nurse coming out in me. And I like a lot of pepper in mine. I just like pepper. So I'm going to stir that in. I'm actually going to hit that with a little bit more salt. And don't be afraid to taste test. Don't be afraid to get you a spoon and taste it and see if it tastes like what you want it to taste like. If it don't, add you a little bit more salt and pepper. It's kind of all it's trial and error when it comes to gravy. The main thing is letting that boil for a little bit, because you do want to boil that flour taste out of it. You don't want your gravy tasting like raw flour. Alright. So let me show y'all what this looks like now. And I'm about ready to cut my heat off. So I added a little bit more milk. But that right there is about perfect. Okay? So I'm going to take it off of the heat right here. Alright, so let's make us a gravy biscuit real quick. Alright. So these are my homemade biscuits. I didn't make these all pretty like I did in the video because usually if I'm not making them for a special occasion or for like that video, I don't roll them out. Alright. If you have any questions about how to make gravy or anything like that, leave a comment. I'd be happy to hear from you. Alright, y'all check it out. A delicious gravy and biscuit this morning for breakfast. So, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. remember to like the video, let YouTube know that you like this kind of content, and hit that subscribe button because that lets me know to keep doing what I'm doing, that you're enjoying the videos, and it does help me out. So the subscribe button should be down here somewhere. I'm going to put that little round icon there, so you should be able to just hit that and subscribe to the channel. Y'all have an awesome day. See you next time.